Welcome to Sleep with Buddha, your peaceful sanctuary for deep rest and inner calm. Tonight, we will journey through ancient Buddhist stories, soft tales of wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness that gently guide your mind to stillness. Each parable is crafted to help you release the day's worries, breathe into relaxation, and drift effortlessly toward restful sleep. Find a comfortable position, let your body soften, and allow these timeless stories to soothe your spirit. Chapter 1: The Bell Beneath the Bodhi Tree. Far beyond the clamor of the waking world, nestled in a valley where the mist never hurried and the wind whispered like a lullaby, there sat an ancient monastery built of stone and silence. In this place, time had forgotten its pace. The bamboo leaves swayed not out of restlessness, but reverence. Each morning arrived gently, wrapped in golden mist, and each night fell like a soft robe over the shoulders of the earth. At the center of this monastery stood a single Bodhi tree, old, wide, and wise. It had witnessed many seasons and many seekers. Beneath it sat a small bronze bell. No one remembered who placed the bell there. No one dared ring it without intention. The monks said it rang only when the heart was ready. Take a moment now to breathe gently. Inhale and feel the cool air entering your nose. Exhale and allow your body to soften. Let the story carry you, slowly, softly, like water moving around stones. Among the monks was a novice named Lian, a young woman with a heart full of questions and a mind that moved faster than the wind. She had come to the monastery seeking peace, though she wasn't yet sure what peace truly felt like. Each morning, Lian swept the courtyard. She listened to the birds and watched the shadows shift, but inside her thoughts spun. Memories, worries, half-finished dreams. One morning, she approached the elder monk, Master Tenzin, who was pruning a bonsai with hands steady as prayer. "Master," Lian said, "how do I quiet my thoughts?" Tenzin smiled but did not look up. "Have you listened to them?" "I try not to," she admitted. "They're always talking." "Then perhaps," he said, snipping a single leaf, "they are asking to be heard, not silenced." Pause with your breath again. Inhale slowly. Exhale fully. Let go of any thoughts that arise. No need to chase or fix them. Just watch them pass. Over the days that followed, Lian began to do just that. She stopped fighting her thoughts. Instead, when her mind wandered, she watched with curiosity, like clouds drifting across a still lake. She noticed her breath more. She noticed the quiet between the bell chimes. She found stillness, not through force, but through observation. And one twilight, as the sky melted into soft indigo, the Bodhi leaves stirred, without wind. The bell beneath the tree gave a gentle single tone, clear and warm. Lian looked up. She had not touched it. No one had. Master Tenzin stood nearby and nodded, as if to say, "You are listening now. Let yourself feel that stillness. Let go of the need to achieve anything in this moment. There is nothing to do, no one to impress, only peace to receive." Inhale slowly. Exhale into quiet. Chapter 2: The Lantern on the Lake. Long ago, in a village nestled between quiet hills and a lotus-covered lake, there lived an old woman named Amara. Her hair was silver like the moonlight on water, and her voice was the sound of patience itself. Each night, Mara walked to the edge of the lake with a small paper lantern in her hands. She lit it, whispered a silent word, and released it gently onto the water. Dozens of lanterns dotted the lake, drifting slowly, glowing like stars fallen to earth. People in the village often asked her what she prayed for. Amara always gave the same answer, with a smile. I don't pray for anything. I just let go. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out with ease. Feel your shoulders soften. You are here. You are safe. A young boy named Kavi once watched Amara from the shadows. His heart was restless, filled with the ache of things he couldn't name. One night, he stepped forward. "Grandmother," he said, "what do you let go of?" Amara handed him a fresh lantern. "Whatever I'm holding too tightly." She guided him to write a word on the lantern. Kavi hesitated, then slowly wrote anger. Amara nodded. "Now breathe," she said. "Breathe in, feel it. Breathe out, and let it go." They stood together as the lantern floated away, the word anger growing smaller with each ripple on the lake. Inhale deeply. Hold for a moment. Exhale gently. Let your body sink deeper into the bed beneath you. Night after night, Kavi returned. Each lantern held a new word: fear, regret, loneliness. And one evening, as he watched the last light fade into the fog, he felt something different. Quiet. Not emptiness, not sadness, just quiet. He turned to Amara. "Is this peace?" She placed a hand on his heart. "It's not something you find. It's something you uncover once the holding stops. Let yourself drift in this calm now. Breathe in stillness. Breathe out whatever you've carried today. You don't have to hold it anymore. There is nothing to do, nothing to fix, only the lanterns quietly floating away." Chapter 3. The Bamboo That Waited. In the heart of a misty forest, where the ground was always soft with fallen leaves and silence hung like a gentle fog, there was a patch of wild bamboo. The stalks stood tall and green, swaying like quiet monks in meditation. But one place in the soil remained bare. Year after year, no bamboo grew there. Just a small green shoot, barely more than a blade of grass that never seemed to rise. Animals walked past it. Birds perched on nearby trees. Even the wind seemed to forget its name. And yet, that little shoot stayed rooted, patiently waiting. Take a breath now. Inhale deeply. Exhale gently. Let the world slow down for you. One day, a traveler passed through the forest. His sandals were worn, and his eyes weary. He sat down by the tiny shoot and sighed. "So much effort," he whispered, "and so little change." A gentle voice answered from within the forest, the kind of voice that didn't need to be loud to be heard. "Do you think growth always means rising?" The traveler blinked. He was alone, or so he thought. The voice continued. "Bamboo does not rush. For years it builds strong roots, deep roots, hidden roots, so that when it finally rises, it rises fast, tall and unwavering. Breathe in slowly. Feel your own roots, your breath, your body, your presence. Breathe out and let go of any pressure to be more than you are right now." The traveler stayed there through the evening. He listened to the quiet of the forest, the occasional rustle, the breath of wind through the trees. He felt something settle in him, not disappointment, but patience. He smiled and whispered to the little shoot, "Grow when you're ready." Then he stood, lighter than when he'd arrived, and continued on his way. Years passed. Then, in a single summer, the shoot rose, higher than all the other bamboo, strong, steady, and sure. Not because it had rushed, but because it had waited. Now rest in that stillness. There is no race, no timeline. You are not behind. You are becoming. Breathe in, breathe out. You are growing, even when it's not visible. Just like the bamboo, waiting patiently beneath the surface. Chapter 4. The Teacup and the Storm. In a small mountain village, where clouds often kissed the rooftops and rain fell like soft music on stone, there lived a potter named Sori. Sori was known for her delicate teacups, paper thin, each one shaped with such care that it seemed made of moonlight. People came from distant towns to admire them, but what they didn't see was how long Sori spent listening to the clay before she ever touched it. Each teacup, she said, holds more than tea. It holds the silence around it. Let's pause for a moment. Inhale slowly. Exhale fully. Let your body soften, like clay in warm hands. One day, a traveler arrived in the village, angry, soaked from the storm, carrying tension like a weight across his shoulders. He entered Sori's workshop without greeting and demanded tea. Sori said nothing. She simply poured warm water into a tiny pot and set out a fresh cup before him. Thin, simple, handmade. As the storm roared outside, the traveler stared into the cup. He scoffed. "Too small. This won't hold enough." Sori smiled and replied, "Then you must learn to sip slowly. Breathe in now. Feel the warmth of stillness. Breathe out. Let go of any urge to rush." The traveler frowned. "I've walked for days, faced wind and rain. I'm exhausted. And you offer me a teacup?" Sori nodded. "Because the storm is not just outside. It's in your hands, your breath, your words." The traveler looked down. Steam curled from the cup, rising, spiraling, then vanishing. Lifted the cup slowly and took a sip. The silence deepened. The wind softened. Even the rain seemed to pause. Let your own breath rise and fall like steam. Inhale gently. Exhale and release. The world doesn't need your tension now. It simply needs your presence. The traveler stayed until night. He asked no more questions. He finished his tea in quiet, then bowed to Sori before stepping back into the world, not to conquer the storm, but to carry stillness through it. And the little cup remained, empty but full, a vessel of peace. Let yourself be that cup now, empty and still full. Breathe in peace. Breathe out the storm. All is well. You are safe. You are held. Chapter 5. The Bell That Rang Without Sound. In a quiet monastery perched high in the clouds, there was a bell that never rang. It was large, cast from bronze long ago by a revered monk who believed in silence more than sound. The bell hung in a wooden tower, perfectly still, kissed only by the wind. Visitors often asked, "Why build a bell that is never struck?" The monks would smile and answer, "Because not all truths are heard with the ears." Pause here with your breath. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out softly. Let the stillness of your breath become your temple. A young novice monk named Niran came to the monastery, seeking wisdom, but he struggled to meditate. Each day he sat with closed eyes, yet his thoughts scattered like birds startled from trees. One evening, frustrated and tired, Niran climbed the tower and stood before the silent bell. "If only you would ring," he whispered. "Maybe I would understand something." The wind stirred gently. The bell moved slightly but made no sound. That night, he returned to the bell again and again, night after night, not to strike it, just to sit beside it. As you listen now, imagine yourself sitting with the bell, not waiting for noise, but embracing the quiet. Breathe in stillness. Breathe out all expectation. You are here, and that is enough. In time, Niran noticed something. The world around the bell seemed quieter, the stars clearer, the breeze softer, his own breath slower. His thoughts, once wild, became gentle ripples. He realized the bell was not silent after all. It rang in the way leaves fall, in the hush between two breaths, in the space where sound could be, but isn't. It was a bell for the heart, not the ears. And now, let yourself rest beside that bell. There is no need for words, no need for answers, only presence. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the subtle ringing of your own stillness. You are the bell. You are the silence. You are the peace. Chapter 6. The Gardener and the Moon. In a quiet valley wrapped in mist and time, there lived a gardener named Dawa. Her garden was modest, no rows of perfect flowers or tall gates, just winding footpaths through herbs, moss, and soft blossoms that opened only at night. Every evening, Dawa walked barefoot through the soil, her lantern dim, her hands gentle. She never hurried. She whispered to the seeds, touched the leaves like prayer beads, and bowed to the moon when it rose over the trees. Villagers thought her strange, but they also noticed her garden was always calm, always in bloom, even when others' plants withered in harsh weather. Breathe slowly now. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Let your body begin to soften, like soil after rain. One night, a child from the village approached her. His name was Rami, and his eyes were red from crying. "My tree died," he said. "I watered it every day. I tried so hard." Dawa knelt beside him. "Did you sit with it when it was quiet?" Rami frowned. I thought trees only needed water and sun." Dawa placed a hand on the earth. "They also need silence. They need someone to wait with them through the dark." She reached into her pouch and gave him a single moonflower seed. "Try again. But this time, don't only tend the growing, tend the resting too. Breathe in. Feel your chest rise like a full moon. Breathe out. Let go of all expectations of where you should be." Rami returned every evening, not to rush the seed, but to be with it. He sat quietly, hummed softly, even spoke to the soil. The flower took its time, and then one night, under a silver moon, it bloomed, white and still and perfect. Rami cried, not from sadness, but from the fullness of waiting. And Dawa, from a distance, smiled. Just like the moon, you are allowed to wax and wane, to shine brightly and to rest in shadow. There is nothing wrong with your pace. Inhale, exhale. You are growing even when unseen. You are blooming even in silence. Let yourself rest in this night garden now. Soft air, soft thoughts. All is well. All is gentle. Chapter 7. The Sand Mandala. In a temple high above the desert plains, nestled between cliffs painted by time, lived a group of monks known not for sermons or chants, but for their art. Every season, they would spend weeks creating a mandala of colored sand on the temple floor. Each grain was placed with care, reds, blues, golds, and whites, forming circles within circles, patterns that looked like the very breath of the universe. Travelers came from afar to watch. Children sat cross-legged for hours. Even birds perched in silence, drawn by the still devotion in the monks' movements. Let us pause here. Inhale softly through your nose. Exhale gently through your lips. Feel the dust of your thoughts begin to settle. Among the monks was a young artist named Luma. She had a steady hand and a heart full of wonder. She loved crafting the edges of lotus petals, the spirals of stars, the gentle balance of shapes. But when the mandala was finally complete, after days of silence and labor, the monks, as they always did, began to brush it away. Luma hesitated. Her teacher saw the resistance in her hands. "Why do we destroy it?" she asked quietly. "It's so beautiful." Take a breath. Breathe in the image of that perfect circle, and breathe out any clinging to permanence. Her teacher replied with a smile, "Because beauty was never the point is presence." Luma watched as the sand was swept gently into a jar. Each grain returned to stillness, each color back into formlessness. The mandala had never belonged to them. It had only passed through their hands. That night, Luma sat by the empty floor. At first she felt sadness, then a strange, gentle joy. She whispered to the darkness, "It was never mine, and still, it gave me peace." Let yourself rest with this truth now. What is here now does not need to last forever to be real. Peace does not cling. Love does not demand. Stillness does not hold. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine the patterns of your day being brushed gently away. Nothing lost, nothing wasted. Only the return to stillness. You too are complete, even in this quiet space. Chapter 8. The Wind and the Bamboo. Far in the east, where the mist rolls over green hills like breath across a sleeping body, there stood a forest of bamboo. Tall, slender, and graceful, the bamboo swayed with every breeze, never breaking, never resisting. Travelers passing through often stopped in awe, watching how the stalks bowed so deeply they seemed to touch the earth, only to rise again with quiet strength. In the heart of that forest lived an old monk named Kenji. He had built his hut beneath the tallest bamboo, saying he preferred their company to that of people. "They teach without words," he would say, "and bend without losing themselves." Now, gently inhale. Let your breath rise like the wind, and exhale slowly. Let go of any tension that clings like branches in a storm. One year, a fierce storm struck the region. Rain hammered the ground, trees cracked and fell, and the villagers rushed to reinforce their homes. They feared for the old monk in the forest. But when the storm cleared and the sky returned to blue, they found Kenji sitting calmly outside his hut, sipping warm tea, surrounded by bamboo that still stood tall. "How?" a boy asked. "How did none of them break?" Kenji smiled. "Because they do not fight the wind. They welcome it. They bow, and they wait." Let that wisdom settle into you now. Breathe in deeply. Feel the breath move through your chest like wind through bamboo. And breathe out. releasing your need to resist what has already passed. That night, the boy returned alone to the forest. He lay beneath the bamboo, listening to the rustle above like a lullaby. For the first time, he felt no need to fix or force the world. He simply allowed himself to be, soft, swaying and still. He did not know when he fell asleep, only that he felt safe and light. And in the dream that followed, he became bamboo himself, rooted, rising, bowing with the breeze, and never once afraid of breaking. You too can bow to the winds of life. You do not have to stand rigid against what comes. You do not need to fight to stay whole. You already are. Inhale like the breeze through a forest. Exhale like the rustling leaves. Soft, present, unshaken. Chapter 9. The Lantern and the Cave. At the edge of a great forest stood a cave no one dared enter. Dark and winding, it stretched deep into the mountainside, a place whispered about in nearby villages. Many believed it was haunted, or endless, or cursed with illusions meant to trick the heart. But one day, a quiet traveler named Anzu arrived, holding a single lantern in her hands. She did not come seeking treasure or proof of courage. She came to learn what the darkness had to teach. Let yourself settle now. Breathe in, and imagine a soft, glowing lantern in your chest. Breathe out, and let its light grow warm and steady. The mouth of the cave was cool. The wind seemed to sigh as Anzu stepped inside. The deeper she walked, the more the outside world disappeared. Trees, birdsong, sunlight, all replaced by silence and stone. Her lantern glowed only a little ahead, just enough to see her next step, not more. She paused. Fear whispered in her chest. What if the path ends? What if I become lost? But another voice, quieter, reminded her, you only need to see where your foot will fall. That is enough. Breathe in, gently, and breathe out. Let go of needing to know the whole path. Let go of needing to control what comes next. Anzu walked slowly. Along the way, she found strange beauty. Crystals in the rock, droplets of water echoing like tiny bells, and ancient handprints from travelers long ago. She noticed something else too. The longer she walked, the steadier her light became. It flickered less. Her hands grew calm, her steps more certain. And then, after many quiet turns, the tunnel opened. Not into treasure, but into a still pool of water reflecting the sky. She had not gone in circles. She had not been lost. She had simply followed her light, one breath, one step at a time. You too have a lantern within you. It may not show the whole road, but it is enough to carry you through the night. Trust it. Inhale softly. Exhale slowly. Let the darkness around you be a cocoon, not a cage. Let your light be your guide, not your burden. There is no rush, only the path, only the breath, only peace. Chapter 10. The Quiet Stream. In a mountain valley, hidden from roads and noise, there flowed a quiet stream. It never rushed, never roared. It wound gently over smooth stones, around mossy roots, and beneath arching branches. Travelers who drank from the stream often felt a calmness seep deep into their bones, as if the water carried the very breath of the earth itself. An old woman named May often sat by its bank, her eyes closed, her hands cupped to catch the cool flow. Breathe deeply now. Feel your breath flow as gently as the stream. Inhale peace, exhale tension. One day, a man came to May, troubled and anxious. "My thoughts are like a storm," he said. "I cannot find rest. The world feels too fast, too loud." May smiled softly. "Come sit with me," she said, "and watch the stream." Together they sat, listening to the water's soft murmur. As you listen now, imagine the water flowing past, never stopping, never holding, simply moving. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your worries drift like leaves carried on the current. May spoke gently. The stream does not resist the rocks in its path. It does not fight the bends or the shadows. It flows as it is meant to flow, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, always moving forward. The man watched the water. He saw how it accepted every obstacle and continued its journey without struggle. And in that moment, his heart softened. You too can be like the quiet stream. Allow your thoughts to flow without holding on. Let your breath carry you through the bends and turns. Breathe in calm. Breathe out release. You are always moving forward, even when still. Rest now in the gentle flow of peace. Let your mind settle, your body relax, and your spirit rest. The night is here. You are safe. You are at peace. Chapter 11. Listening to Silence. In the hills above a quiet Buddhist temple stood an old bell tower. The bell, once grand and resonant, had long fallen silent. A fine crack had split its surface, and over the years, the monks had stopped ringing it. But every day, just as the sun began to dip behind the distant mountains, a young novice named Tamo would climb the steps to the tower, sit beside the bell, and close his eyes. Now, take a moment with Tamo. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes if they're still open. Gently inhale and slowly exhale. Let the rhythm of your breath settle like soft mist around your body. The other monks often wondered why Tamo went to the bell tower. "There's no sound there," one would whisper. "Why sit in silence?" asked another. But Tamo only smiled. "There is a different kind of sound," he would say softly. "One that doesn't reach the ears but echoes within. Breathe in. And as you inhale, feel the breath expand like a quiet breeze inside your chest. Breathe out. Feel your body soften, letting go a little more. Again, breathe in and out. Let go of tension. Let go of thought. One day, as a storm moved quietly through the valley, a gentle wind reached the old tower. It danced through the cracked bell, and for a fleeting moment, a low, soft hum filled the air. Not loud, but full. Tamo heard it not only with his ears, but with his heart. He sat perfectly still, breathing, listening, not just to the sound, but to the silence around it. He understood something beautiful. Sometimes silence is not empty. It is full of meaning. It is full of presence. Now return to your breath. Inhale slowly through your nose. Hold it gently for a moment, and exhale through your mouth. Feel each breath like a soft note from a sacred bell, not to be heard, but felt. Let your breath guide you inward. Let it carry you to stillness. Tamo continued visiting the tower each day, but never needed to hear the bell again. He had found its song in the silence. He had found peace in stillness. and in the quiet, he had found himself. Now you too can rest in this quiet space. There is no need to chase sound, no need to chase thought. Just breathe, just be. The silence holds you, and the night welcomes your rest. Chapter 12. The River That Waited. Long ago, in a land of quiet forests and slow-moving clouds, there lived a monk named Anyo, who tended a small riverside shrine. The shrine was simple, just a stone lantern, a patch of moss, and a wooden bench where travelers could rest. But the river was always changing. Sometimes it rushed with loud determination. Other times it trickled like a whisper. Some seasons it flooded. Other seasons it vanished into cracked earth. Anyo watched it all. He never tried to change the river. He waited. Now let's breathe together. Take a slow, steady inhale and a long, quiet exhale. Feel your breath like a river moving gently through you. Again. Breathe in calm and breathe out anything you no longer need. Pilgrims would come to the shrine and ask Anyo questions. Why do you sit and do nothing while the river dries up? Why do you stay when it overflows? Why wait when it offers you nothing? And Anyo would smile gently and say, because the river always returns, and peace flows with it. Breathe in, hold. Now breathe out slowly, like water flowing around a smooth stone. Let your body relax. Let your mind soften. There is nowhere to be but here. One dry season, the river vanished completely. Only a ribbon of dust remained. The villagers worried. They begged Anyo to come down from the shrine and dig wells or pray for rain. But Anyo simply continued his practice. He swept the shrine floor. He tended the moss. He meditated at dawn and whispered chants under the stars. Don't you care? A child once asked. Anyo placed a hand gently on the boy's shoulder. Caring does not always mean rushing. Sometimes it means trusting. Now place one hand softly on your belly and feel it rise as you inhale and fall as you exhale. Let each breath be like a gentle current, not hurried, not forced, just flowing. And then, one quiet morning, the river returned, not with a roar, but with a trickle, then a stream. The moss drank gratefully. The wind carried the scent of wet earth. Birds returned. Anyo bowed to the water, not surprised, not overjoyed, just at peace. He had waited with trust. He had flowed with patience. And the river, as always, had come home. Breathe in deeply. Feel patience filling your chest. And exhale. Let it ripple through you like the returning stream. You do not need to chase the flow. You are the river. You are the stillness. And everything you need is already on its way. Chapter 13. The Monastery of Gentle Tasks. There once was a modest monastery tucked between rolling hills, where the days were quiet and the sky always seemed a little closer to the earth. The monks there lived not in silence, but in softness. Their voices hushed, their footsteps light, their days filled with simple tasks done with full attention. In this monastery lived a young novice named Keen. Keen struggled with meditation. While the others sat with stillness, his thoughts darted like fish in shallow water. He worried he wasn't suited for the path. that his mind was too busy, his heart too restless. One morning, the old abbot noticed Keen sweeping the stone courtyard. "You sweep with frustration," the abbot said, smiling kindly. "Try sweeping with your breath." Let's breathe as Keen was taught. Breathe in. Feel the broom in your hands. Breathe out. Feel the motion of your body. Breathe in. Listen to the quiet brush on stone. Breathe out. Be here. The next morning, Keen swept more slowly. He breathed with the strokes. He noticed the way dust curled in the sunlight. He felt the warmth of the handle in his palms. He didn't try to meditate. And yet, his thoughts slowed. One of the senior monks saw him and said, "There, you're meditating now. Imagine yourself in that courtyard now. Feel the stone beneath your feet. Smell the morning air, cool, clean, still. Take a breath in and out. Each moment is a gentle task. No need to fix, no need to chase, only to be." Keen's days changed. He chopped vegetables with care. He folded robes slowly. He washed bowls as if washing away the dust of his mind. And without trying, peace came. Now, dear listener, whatever tasks await you tomorrow, let them be soft. Let them be slow. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be present. So breathe, let go of striving, and allow sleep to sweep gently through you. Like the broom in Keen's hands, steady, rhythmic, quiet. Chapter 14. The Boy Who Asked Too Many Questions. In a small village at the edge of the forest, there lived a boy named Luan. Luan was known for one thing: questions. From the moment he woke up, his day was filled with them. Why does the rooster crow before the sun? What makes the wind move? Where does my shadow go at night? Why don't people smile when they're walking alone? His parents chuckled at first, then sighed, then eventually replied, "Ask the monk." So Luan did. He made his way up the old forest path to visit a wandering monk named Anzu, who often sat under the Bodhi tree, drinking tea and listening to birdsong. Let's pause and breathe. Imagine the forest path. Sunlight dapples through the leaves. Your feet are bare on warm earth. Inhale, exhale, feel your body settle. When Luan arrived, he blurted, "Why do I always have questions? Shouldn't I have answers by now?" The monk smiled warmly and poured 2 cups of tea. "Sit," he said. "Let's be curious together." The boy sat, watching steam curl from the tea bowl. "Why does steam rise?" Anzu took a sip. "Because it doesn't know how to fall," he said gently. Luan giggled. "That's not a real answer." Anzu winked. "It doesn't have to be. Not now." As the sun slipped behind the trees, Luan asked fewer questions. He listened more, to the breeze, to the silence between chirping crickets, to the sound of his own breath. Breathe in now, slowly, and let your breath go. There is no question to answer, only this moment. Before Luan left, the monk handed him a small stone. It was smooth, cool, and round. "Keep this," said Anzu, "and each time your mind fills with questions, hold it. Don't answer, just feel." That night, Luan held the stone as he lay in bed. The questions still came, but he didn't chase them. He listened to them the way you listen to rain, with wonder, with peace. And soon, he slept. You too may have questions. They can wait. Feel your breath. Feel the stillness. You don't need to know. You only need to rest. Let the world spin without your help. Let your thoughts wander like children through a garden. Let your sleep come softly, without answers. Just peace. Chapter 15. The Quiet Garden. In a secluded valley, there was a garden unlike any other. It was said to be tended by a humble gardener named Tashi, who never rushed, never hurried. Each day, he moved slowly among the plants, whispering words of kindness to every leaf and root. Travelers often asked Tashi, "How does your garden bloom so beautifully while ours wither in haste?" Tashi would smile softly and say, "The garden grows in its own time, like our minds. Patience is the soil of peace. Let's breathe deeply together. Inhale, feeling calm begin to grow inside you. Exhale, releasing tension like falling leaves." One spring morning, a young visitor came with a restless heart. "I want my garden to flourish now," she said. "I want the flowers to bloom before the sun sets." Tashi nodded, then handed her a small seed. "Plant this," he said, "and visit it every day, but do not rush it. Let it grow as it will." Day after day, the visitor returned. She watered the seed gently, watched the earth, and waited. Sometimes she felt impatient, but she learned to sit quietly, breathing in rhythm with the garden's pace. Breathe in, steady and slow. Breathe out, soft and gentle. Feel your body growing calm, like the garden growing green. Seasons passed. One morning, a tiny sprout peeked from the soil. The visitor smiled, knowing that growth, like peace, cannot be hurried. Just like the garden, your mind and body flourish best with patience. You do not need to push or strain. You only need to be present, caring for yourself with gentle attention. As you prepare to drift into sleep, imagine yourself in Tashi's garden. Feel the soft earth beneath you, the cool breeze on your skin, and the quiet growth of calm inside your chest. Let patience be your guide. Let your breath be your rhythm, and let sleep come slowly, like flowers blooming under the moonlight. Thank you for joining Sleep with Buddha on this journey of calm and reflection inspired by the wisdom of the Buddha. I hope these gentle parables helped you relax and find peace within, just as the Buddha intended. If you're still with us, let the calming music of Piotr Witowski carry you deeper into restful sleep, held in the Buddha's compassion and light. May your night be filled with serenity and your dreams with the Buddha's peace. Good night.